Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and let me add my welcome to you on behalf of the International Telecommunications Union. It's my honor to bring to you a message from the United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Ban Ki-moon. The information and communications technology sector has much to offer in creating a cleaner, greener world, but it must also apply international standards in reducing its own emissions. It is all about learning by doing. A high bandwidth, low carbon economy offers one of the best prospects for sustaining economic growth without endangering the future of our planet. But although the internet is virtually weightless in terms of the information it carries, it is not yet climate neutral. The power consumption of the internet is growing. It is vital, therefore, that experts such as you work to develop new standards and the best practices for energy efficiency in the ICT industry. At the same time, it is important for your symposium to look for ways in which ICTs can be best used to help other sectors reduce their emissions. I commend the International Telecommunication Union for working with partners inside and outside the United Nations family to give high priority to actions in this field, by holding symposiums such as this one and by making the theme of your Council's high-level segment in November. I wish you every success in your deliberations. It was during his visit to ITU in July last year that Mr. Ban Ki-moon described climate change as the moral challenge of our generation. And he encouraged ITU, as one of the most important stakeholders in this area, to do more. This inspired us to take initiatives in this area, and I'm very pleased that our membership responded so strongly to this, especially BT and our Japanese colleagues. As part of a unified effort of the United Nations system, ITU can contribute its areas of expertise in many ways, in standardization development, environmental monitoring, and climate change mitigation and adaptation. ICTs can help in a number of ways. First, ICTs are needed to monitor and to better understand what is happening as a basis for taking immediate and long-term actions. Second, we can use ICTs to improve the energy efficiency of our own industry through learning by doing, as the Secretary General mentioned. It is estimated that ICTs contribute between 2 to 3% of total greenhouse gases, if the contribution from broadcasting is included. We must ensure that this percentage does not increase and, if possible, is reduced. Third, we may use ICTs to reduce emissions in other industry sectors, for instance, energy and transport sectors, and in buildings. Estimates for potential reductions through the use of ICTs range from 40 to 60%. Finally, we can use ICTs to help economies, especially economies in developing countries, to adapt to the threats that will be created by man-made natural disasters, for instance, through the development of emergency communications and through improving environmental monitoring. ITU is working to create a knowledge base to better understand the links between ICTs and climate change, and on related actions as part of the concerted United Nations strategy. As part of this process, in the standardization field, we are carrying out a systematic review of all 3,000 ITU standards, which we call recommendations, in the light of climate change. And we will be creating a focus group to develop a standardized methodology for estimating the impact of ICTs on climate change, both directly and indirectly. ITU's role in radio communications through its World Radio Communication Conferences and radio assemblies serves to allocate the radio spectrum and secure the frequency bands that are necessary for remote sensing and other applications critical to environmental monitoring in general and climate change in particular. In ITU's development work, we are contributing by providing information, training materials, and assistance on the beneficial impact that ICTs can have on the environment and climate change, as well as on their role in helping to mitigate and adapt to these changes, including environmental disasters. We aim to position ITU as the strategic leader in ICTs and climate change, and to participate actively in the UN process. In this respect, our Council in November will have a special session on climate change, and we will hold a side event at the UN Climate Change Conference in Poznan in December. In this effort, we will continue to build strategic partnerships with other players in this field, including the Global E-Sustainability Initiative. Finally, ITU is committed to achieving climate neutral status itself within 3 years, for instance, by bringing its work closer to the membership rather than expecting the membership to travel to Geneva, and by using webcasts for its meetings, as we are doing, in fact, for this event. And we also make all our standards available for downloading free of charge from our website rather than using paper. And last week, ITU initiated a carbon audit of its secretariat activities. So I'd like to thank you all for participating in this event and thank BT for hosting it and providing these excellent facilities and support. I would like to thank all the presenters for their contributions and for being with us this week. And on behalf of all of us, I would like to thank the UK's Government Business, Enterprise and Regulatory Reform Department for offering us a reception this evening. Finally, we must remind ourselves that this is only a first step on the long road to finding and implementing global solutions to the challenge of climate change through the use of ICTs. What is important is not so much what we say this week, but how we build on this momentum and the actions that we will take forward. Thank you for your attention. And I'd now like to invite Matt Bross, the Chief Technology Officer of BT Group.